Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. I just went through the absolute most to get home from work. Let me go take all this wet stuff off and I'll be back to tell y'all about the foolishness. Hey y'all, so I'm back. But listen. Thank you to the two or three of y'all who saw that I went live and y'all peeked in like, girl, what in the world you got going on? Uh But for those of y'all who don't know what's going on, let me tell y'all what's been going on because I'm tired of my spirit. I'm eating. Y'all gonna see me eating and drinking as I'm doing this because a lot happened and my stomach is touching its back. Like my stomach is touching my back and I'm starving at this point. So, it is what it is. This apple is delicious. Excuse me. Anyway, y'all, I had a good day at work today, right? It had already been calling for snow. So I was already on my P's and Q's as far as that is concerned. So I wasn't worried about it. I know how to drive in the snow. You know what I'm saying? I don't usually have no issues with getting from point A to point B when it snows. So to me, I felt like the most annoying part of the day was going to be me leaving work because they already speed out of the parking lot and wonder why their cars all wrecked out and bashed in and all of that. And I'm like, oh, okay. mm-hmm. But you want to wonder why? Oh, okay. You keep on wondering why. Anyway, so I waited a few minutes and I was actually trying to help do some stuff work-wise. So I kept myself busy for like an extra 15 minutes because I already knew that I had to go outside and clean my car off. I'd already, peeked out on my last break and saw that it was snowing. I already knew it was going to snow, but I didn't know if it was going to be more wintry mix than snow or what. So I was like, whatever. I'm not scared. I've driven in worse. So I really wasn't, fearful of anything, right? This is really hot, y'all. So as I was walking outside, I tiptoed because I know me. I will trip over air if I give myself the opportunity to do so. So I tiptoed, like literally was tiptoeing to my car. And I was about to cross the street and get to my car when I was approached by someone who, I know that he works on a different shift than I do. And so he came in after me and he was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, would you like for me to clean off your car for you?" So I was like, "Sure." Because I was about to go in my trunk and get my little brush extended thing and all of that and start clearing all of the snow off my car anyway. So I was like, "Sure, doing it for me." Y'all, I forgot. I think I scared him a little bit. So I did push the start on my car, right? And like he was already cleaning my car. And I thought about it because I meant to do it as soon as I stepped foot outside, really before that, because where I parked it, I could do it before I even step outside. So I did the push to start right. And he looked at me, he was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, okay. I don't know. I guess he didn't think that my car did that, but yeah. And so I was like, okay. I was like, my bad. I really didn't think about it until after I had already pushed the button. I said, oh God, this might scare him. So he took the liberty of clearing off my driver's side door so that I can get inside and be warm. And I was like, thank you. That is so sweet. Oh my gosh. That was so sweet. Like it really was sweet. But I just, I don't know. Like I be minding my business and people roll up and like do stuff for me. So it really be taking me like to a strange place where I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, child, y'all ignore my hair. I can't wait to take it down. I get tired of stuff quick most of the time. So he's cleaning my car off for me. And I done got inside. And, I'm just waiting on him to clear everything off. He's being gentle, which I do appreciate. And, I can tell he's done. So I let my window down and I told him, thank you again. And so he walked off. So they had somebody who was pushing the snow and slushy mess, out of the way. And they were riding by again. So I was like, let them ride by real quick and then I'll leave out. Because a lot of the people who don't know how to drive had already left. So I was like, hallelujah in the name. So yeah. So I pulled out. I see the side heifer. She in her truck, letting it warm up, I guess. And waiting on the married dude because he was on the inside briefing some folks. Because the most y'all, I should have already knew some foolishness was going to ensue. Because right before I left, I had went on my break. Then when I came back, it was like all hell broke loose. And I was just like, as soon as I got upstairs, I was just like, and like, I kind of didn't panic or nothing because I noticed that my partner wasn't panicking. So I was like, okay, what in the world? So he explained to me the situation. I know that in the past, at other places that I've worked, whenever there is like low or no air pressure, certain things happen. And it's usually because it's really, really cold outside. To me, it wasn't that cold. I mean, it's cold, but it wasn't that cold today. You know what it takes in order for the snow to form. So, it's not that cold, but it is cold. So that's why it looked the way it did when I came up there. Because I was like, like, what is going on up here? So, y'all, by this time, it's like 20 minutes left in the shift. Because I ended up leaving late for my break and all this other stuff. Cool, whatever. And so we trying to, fix stuff. We trying to put stuff in place. Like, we setting up the next shift real good. The married dude who claims that he's going to get a divorce, filed for divorce this month. He ended up coming up there. We didn't really talk. I think he's still mad because of what I said to him yesterday, which was basically, you need to go ahead and talk to somebody else. Go ahead and get you a piece from somebody else who is showing you that attention, who is showing you all of that. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with that. Like, he legit was so upset, y'all. I was like, oh. Oh, you're mad. Oh, okay. Like, he was really, really mad. But it is what it is. I mean, I ain't giving it to you, so you need to find somebody else who's willing to give it to you, I guess. Right? Right. Okay. You ain't gonna get it from your wife? You not willing to wait until you get your divorce decree in hand so that you can start dealing with people who are like myself, who are like, no, I would rather wait. If there's going to be a chance of something happening, I want it to be free and clear. No issues, no attachments like that. No legal documentation like that hanging in the balance. Ain't nobody got time. At least I don't. So anyway, y'all, I done pulled off and I'm driving. Everything seems fine. So less than 5 minutes into my drive, we come to a standstill. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm very confused because nothing seems to be going on. Yes, it is snowing. And it had already, like, the bulk of the, like, heavy stuff had already happened. So I think it's been doing it on and off where it's kind of heavy. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, what is really going on for us to be at a standstill right now? Like, I'm confused, right? So yeah, y'all, I was just like, I'm not understanding. Y'all, I thought about it. I said, well, let me try to go live on YouTube and see what that's hitting for, because I don't know how to go live on nothing. So I was like, oh, let me try it with y'all first. Even though I didn't think anybody would get online. And it was like 2 or 3 people who did appear at times. So I appreciate y'all for showing up. If y'all said anything, I have no idea, because I had a moment where I had a little karaoke time. And then I had a moment where I was kind of ranting because I really wanted to hurry up and get home so that I can get to this. And this apple. I was hungry. I was so hungry. And this stuff is keeping my voice together. Like, y'all do not understand. You know what? Let me tell y'all what's all in this. This is all alkaline. Okay? There is cayenne pepper, ginger root that has been chopped up and steeped, and I actually took it upon myself to like smash it and all that to make sure I get all of the good stuff out of it. I put whole dates in this as a sweetener so that I can preserve my agave for as long as I can. Spring water. It was 2 cups of spring water, and I did like a couple of splashes of the cayenne pepper. As hot as you can stand it, go ahead and put as much as you want to put in there. I didn't put as much this time, but the one that I was drinking on yesterday. Woo child. I ain't trying to do that, y'all. I ain't trying to do that. That was a part of the date that I put in here. I put like 6 dates because I have like 4 or 5 containers of dates that I got to get through by the end of March. And I will be doing that because I will be incorporating them into my smoothies again. So I thought about it. I was like, oh, I should be able to sweeten this with it. So as I'm making this concoction every day, I'm going to be putting the dates in there. Anything else? Oh, cloves. I put a few cloves in there, whole cloves. And key lime. I don't remember if I told y'all this or not, but like a month or 2 ago, I bought a 5 to 10 pound bag of key limes. And what I want to start doing, which is what I actually started when I did that, was I'm going to get them and I'm going to pick a day that I know that I'm going to be up for the task. And so I'm going to cut all of them open and squeeze them and get all the seeds out and then put them into ice trays and have them saved like that. I literally have 2 ice trays in there of nothing but key lime juice so that I can preserve it, because I have a tendency to let stuff go bad, and I'm not letting nothing go bad. I'm not letting nothing go bad no more. Because yeah, I like having fresh fruit and all that, but if it's going to be something where I feel like it's going to go bad, I'm either not going to get it or I'm going to use it before it starts to go bad. And key limes are something that you don't need to let go bad. They are very awesome. I actually put a cube in like a gallon of spring water to make it alkaline and all that stuff. But yeah, I added one of the cubes to the mixture and I let it boil. Oh, and I ended up adding some, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ceylon cinnamon. True cinnamon, not the arsenic stuff that you could just get anywhere. Yeah, I think it's Ceylon. That's true cinnamon. But I just put a little bit in there, sprinkle to taste pretty much, and just let it all boil together. And I drink 3 cups of it a day if I can, at least 2. And then I try, like when I'm on my way to work, to drink the 3rd cup, if not the 2nd cup when I'm on my way to work. So yeah, I love it. The heat does a lot of good things for me. Everything is alkaline. That's the amazing thing about it. And so I get my entire life and I have been able to keep my voice. So anyway, y'all, I have been wanting to get home to that and my apples. So these apples are good, y'all. And I got like maybe 4 left. I bought a nice bag of them, but they had them on sale. And then I ended up buying some other ones. And then I ended up buying some other fruit, y'all. Oh, I tore them things down. But anyway, y'all. So I wanted to hurry up and get home so I could eat and drink this stuff. Because I'm starving. All that I've had was spring water all night. All I've had was water for the last 12 plus hours. And so I want some of this and some of this in me. So, it is what it is. Y'all, I still don't know why the lanes were cut off. We ended up having to turn all the way around and go the wrong direction and figure our way back to the road another way. I'm not from here, so I ain't know how to do that. So I just had to figure my way around until I got to an area where I was kind of familiar. And then I was just going to go a really long way home. Y'all, I had made it through everything. Now I'm on my actual street. I done came up the back way of my street, y'all. It's a curvy incline. I already was aware of this before I turned on it. I was good. I plan ahead for this stuff. I think ahead when it comes to situations like this. I already knew what it was going to be. So I already had me a nice little, my pace going or whatever. Tell me why a police officer was in the other lane. She had gotten out of her vehicle to remove very small branches, limbs or whatever from the street. So I'm like, okay, hurry on up, ma'am. Hurry up. So I'm thinking I ain't gonna have to break my stride. Man, I had to slow down for this heifer. Because she was taking her time. And I was like, ma'am, I don't have my SUV yet. When I do get my SUV, I can come to a complete stop and do what I need to do. But this is a winding incline. This place is hilly. Okay? And I already accounted for all of that. Y'all, I ended up coming almost to a complete stop. But she finally got out of the way. Then she went to her truck and she opened her door, and then she like kind of stood by it so myself and the person behind me could pass her. So I'm doing good. I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad. Cool. I get to the top of the incline, and then my car wants to start trying to skid a little bit and then get stuck. There was a car with two guys in it, and I didn't know what was going on. They hopped out. It's like they saw me and was like, she might need help. Let me go help her. So the person who was behind me, he took his time. I don't even know where they live around here, but they ended up parking pretty much in my parking space that's outside, right? I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. So they end up going around me because they are in an SUV. They are in like an old school Ford Expedition or something. Ford Explorer, one of them. But I'm looking at him go up the road like this. I was like, oh God, no. I was like, oh no. Now, for those of y'all who were in the live, I had just said something about how I have been able to maneuver when it comes to driving because my father taught me how to drive. I told y'all that I've gotten out of mud. I have gotten out of like pretty much any crazy circumstance that is presented to a driver. Excuse me. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, this ain't bad. And I mean, I've literally been in snow before and I've had to maneuver and get out of it and leave to go to work or whatever. So to me, I'm like, oh, hey, man, it's cool. It's all right. Well, the guys who jumped out of their truck, they must have saw ahead of time that because I have a small vehicle right now. Like my car, well, it's not small. It's a nice sedan. Let me put it like that. They must have saw what it was heading for. I was like, yeah, let's hop out of here and help her because she ain't going to make it. So I was sitting there. I'm trying to overcorrect, do all of this so I can move because this is a part of the street that has not had anybody to come by and push the snow out of the way. And I already knew this. But because that police officer was in the way, it slowed down my momentum. Then my little skid thing, my traction thing just started going haywire. I've never driven this vehicle in the snow. Okay, this is the first time I've driven this vehicle in the snow. We haven't had any snow in a while, hallelujah in the name, and I was loving that. But Yeah, I had to drive home in the snow today. And so I'm like, why is it that I'm having trouble when I'm right up the street from the house? This is annoying me. So anyway, they done hopped out. They literally get behind me, and I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't want the car to come back on them. Like, what is going on? It's snow. Like, they might slip. I don't want the car to roll over them. Like, I'm thinking of all of the worst case scenarios. They weren't worried. They're trying to tell me, okay, just turn the wheel and book it. Turn it. Just turn the wheel and just go. They're not realizing that with this car, it doesn't do like my old car and any of the other cars that I've ever driven do, which is if I'm in a situation like that, I can hit the gas and it will rev and go like crazy. Like, even if the wheels are just spinning, it's gonna go. It's gonna do what it needs to do. When that traction thing came on, my wheels barely moved. It barely moved. It barely did anything. So they're over telling me, okay, you got it, go, 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 go. And I'm like my foot is literally down to the ground. Like, I don't know what else to tell y'all. Like, I'm telling them, like, I'm trying to go. So this woman come from out of nowhere, and she was like, do you have a downshift or something? She said, a down gear. And I was like, I know what she was talking about. So she was like, do you have something that comes after drive? And I looked down. I was like, no. I didn't think I did, but I looked down just in case I was crazy. So I was like, no. So she was like, okay. So she was like, when you get in Fremont, you're going to have to go. And I was telling her, I was like, I can't. Like, when the traction sign come on, it's not allowing me to do much. She was like, I understand, but you're going to have to. I was like, look, I'm going to do what I can do. Like, listen, I'm going to get home without having to get out of this vehicle and walk home. I'm going to drive this vehicle home within the next 10 to 15 minutes. It's going to take me a while, but I'm going to get home. So now she has joined the fight to help me get where I need to go. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Then I saw somebody in the distance walking. I was like, man, I mean, I love the fact that people have been coming out of nowhere and doing such nice, kind things for me. But that was so, like, kind of embarrassing for me because I'm used to just doing everything by myself. I'm not used to people like setting it off like that and just coming out of nowhere, just coming to the rescue like that. Like, they literally hopped out of the vehicle like as soon as they saw me. They turned out the car, hopped out of the vehicle, and just was like, oh. And I was just like, and I told them, I was like, if that police officer hadn't stopped down there, I would have been fine. Like, I was in the tracks, like all of that. Like, I know how it go. I have done this before. I have never gotten stuck. While trying to drive home or drive somewhere in the snow. Like, I was so tired, y'all. I was so annoyed and hungry. Like, that made it worse because I was so hungry. I'm fat, honey. I was hungry. I'm like, man, come on. So eventually, after the woman said, you know, you're going to have to book it, I told her, I said, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So I'm turning the wheel. Man, I'm telling y'all, it's so hilly. Like, there was a street that was right on the right side of me. It was a straight. I was like, oh no. My car started going that way. I said, oh no. So, I mean, I usually can feel where I need to turn the car. I need to turn the wheel or whatever. So, you know, that was helping me. But I was like, Lord, please, no. I don't need to go down this road. I don't even know what's down there. I don't go up and down any of these streets, what is going on here. Like, I can't. And so now it's becoming a slight incline again, but it wasn't as bad as the one that I had just overcame. So the car eventually started kind of going, and it was just the traction sign the entire time. And like, I was barely moving, but I was going. I said, okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'm on to something. Let me keep going. Like, I kept doing the wheel just slightly and doing what I needed to do. And I was able to get to the house, y'all. But this was the thing. When I got to the house, I pulled in all the way over. But I couldn't, you know, go forward, and I can't go back because there's so much snow. So I was like, well, at least I'm out the street. I ain't worried about it. I done lifted up my little windshield wipers, which I've never been able to do before. I saw the guy at work do it. So I was like, oh, I didn't know if I could do that. I was wondering when I went to work this morning if I could do that, but he did it when he was cleaning my car. So I was like, okay. I always been scared I'm gonna rip it off or something because I'm so crazy. So I got him up right now because it's still snowing and all that right now. So just in case when I do leave out in the morning, I might have to clean my car off. I have no idea. I'm gonna try to leave at least an hour ahead of time because I don't trust nothing. It might be freezing rain. It might be sleeting. It could be ice on the streets by the time I leave out. I have no idea. But I'm going to try to be prepared and leave an hour ahead of time. 45 minutes at least ahead of time, y'all. But yeah, that's what happened to me. I was so tired in my spirit. I had to drive all the way around the world just to get home. Then I got stuck. Literally less than 2 minutes away from the house. I'm like, come on now. 2 minutes away from the house? Really? Child, I was so tired of my spirit. Now, had they not been there, I still would have figured it out. But the fact that they were there and they really were trying to push my car, I was like, oh, everybody has been so sweet. Everybody has been so sweet. And I'm just so grateful for it. Anyway, that's what happened today on this snowy day. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Give this video a thumbs up. And let's get down in the comment section and discuss this foolishness that just happened to me.